Good morning, December 16th today, Amos 4 through 6, and then Revelation 7. And today, some really good scripture and things to be thinking about. Now, Amos, remember, he wasn't trained as a prophet. He was a simple herdsman, a farmer, and when he wanted to get the point across to the women of Israel, he called them fat cows, which isn't very nice. But he was a little rougher. He wasn't trained, an intellectual kind of guy. And to be honest with you, I can relate a lot with Amos because I wasn't trained in your traditional way either. But and sometimes we come across a little brash, I guess, and a little different than some of the people that were trained, I guess, correctly. And it wasn't that these women were really rich and affluent and plump, I guess, if you want to call it that. It was that they gained their wealth and affluence by oppressing and crushing the less fortunate. And God saw this and promised to hold them to account. And to me, this is just one of the prophets really saying this is not how you're supposed to be acting and how you're supposed to be doing things. And I don't know, some really big eye openers, to. What is our motive sometimes of doing things? The world tells us to do whatever we have to succeed and to roll over people and to kind of crush them, when they're down in order for you to gain success too. And I don't care for that. But Revelation 7, it talks about the 144,000 in the great multitude. And really what this is talking about today, at least what I'm getting out of it, is the seals. And a seal back then is kind of of ownership. If you owned cattle, you would get a seal. Your seal would go on the papers. If you own property, different things like that. And here, I don't know exactly, who these people are. The 144,000 are divided among the 12 tribes of Israel, though only God may know their tribal ancestry. There are 12,000 from each tribe. Again, what is their role? What are they going to do? With that, I don't know. And here's something I read again. Enduring Word commentary, and I'm reading a lot of notes here because I'm trying not to say anything wrong, as far as particularly the book of Revelation, because there's so much in it. And again, take time and read it, study it, look at it, and look it up, Google it, because God's got some really good stuff in here that John wrote. But it says in here in Enduring Word again. Many different groups have claimed to be the 144,000. For example, the Jehovah's Witnesses once said their entire group was, until they surpassed 144,000 numbers. Now they say that the 144,000 are only a select group of witnesses who will go to heaven. And I'm trying to think, if that's the case, and they already got to 144,000. I'm not in. I mean, it's totally. I'm not going to say works based, but predestined. There's X amount of people that's going to get there. It just to me it just shows false witness right away. Most Bible scholars either regard the 144,000 as the church or as converted Jews, who are still identified as Israelites in some manner. It is an important issue. If they are a symbol of the church, then the church is definitely in the Great Tribulation. but sealed for survival through the Great Tribulation. Some facts about the 144,000 from Revelation 7 and Revelation 14 give us insight regarding their identity. They are called the children of Israel in Revelation 7. Their tribal affiliation is specific in Revelation 7, 4 through 8. They seem to be protected and triumph through the period of God's wrath, meeting with Jesus at Mount Zion at his return, and that's going to be in Revelation 14. They are celebrate. Revelation 14. They are, excuse me. They are the beginning of a great harvest in Revelation 14. They are marked by integrity and faithfulness. Take it. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. By the way, I went in and got tested today for the COVID thing, so I'll let you know. I'll keep you informed. I don't think I got it, but I got the sneezes. I'm coughing a lot, and I'm sore. I'm tired. So I'll ask for your prayers on that one. Anyways, their tribal affiliation is empathetic and known to God, even if God only knows it. There's absolutely no reason to regard their tribal affiliation as symbolic and not literal. So again, there's so much involved with this. The great multitude, which no one can number, of all nations, tribes, people, and tongues. The diversity here is evidence that the Great Commission will be fulfilled before the end, even as Jesus promised in Matthew 24. Because John knew they came from different nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, we know that there will be differences among people in heaven, just as there are on earth. We will not all be the same. We will be individuals. I suppose as he looked at them, he could tell where they come from. There is individuality in heaven. Depend upon it. Every seed will have its own body. There will sit down in heaven not three unknown patriarchs, but Abraham. You will know him. Isaac, you will know him. And Jacob, you will know him. There will be in heaven not a company of persons, all struck off alike, so that you cannot tell who is who. But they will be out of every nation and kindred and people and tongue. That's C.S. Spurgeon wrote that. So again, I really enjoy the book of Revelation. Study it. Please study it, and look at it and research it, and let me know what you come up with. But there's so much that's in there. But make sure you're reading from a reliable source again, and just really enjoy reading it. Again, Enduring Word is one of the sites, and Matthew Henry is another one that I like to look at. So have a great day. God bless, and I will see you in the morning.